So hello everybody, welcome back. We are continuing with chapter 7. So today is the part 3. Chapter 7 is production function and returns to a factor. Production function and returns to a factor. Till now, let's have a quick recap. We did this production function, fixed factors and variable factors. We also discussed about the short period production function and long period production function. After that, we discussed about the short run production function curve and the long run production function curve. After that, we discuss total product. What do we mean by total product? What do we mean by margin product? And what is average product? What is average product? We discussed a numerical. We discussed a numerical and how the formulas are being applied in the table. So today we'll be starting with the fresh topic. The new topic is law of variable proportion. This topic is very important from the examination point of view. So what is this law? The law of variable proportion states that as more and more of variable factors are combined with fixed factors, marginal product of the variable factor may initially rise. That means the TP increases at increasing rate, after which the MP of the product starts declining, which implies that TP increases at decreasing rate, and eventually the MP becomes 0 or negative, which implies that TP starts declining. So law of variable proportion कहता है that as we combine more and more variable factors with the fixed factor, जैसे जैसे हम एक fixed factor के ऊपर ज्यादा से ज्यादा variable factors combine करते हैं, our marginal product derived from every additional variable factor initially rise. हमारे starting में जो marginal product है, जो हमारे starting में marginal product है that initially rises, वो initially rise करता है, then it starts falling in the second stage, starts falling, eventually becomes 0 and ultimately becomes negative. As a result of this, what is the effect on TP? We discussed in the last class that TP is nothing but the summation of marginal product, So there are basically three stages. In the first stage, the TP increases at increasing rate. The TP increases at increasing rate. This is due to the reason that MP is increasing. After which TP increases at decreasing rate, which is the result of decreasing marginal product. And at the end, TP starts falling. And this is the result why MP is negative. TP starts falling because MP gets negative. That means with every additional unit of labor, the marginal product tends to fall down or become negative, and this is the result why TP gets negative. So basically there are three stages in law of variable proportion. There is first stage when TP increases, second stage when TP increases at decreasing rate, and the third stage when TP starts falling. Let's discuss this in detail, a bit of detail. The law of variable proportion says that as more and more of variable factors are combined with the fixed factor, marginal product of variable factor may initially rise. यानी कि सबसे पहले marginal product आपका initially rise होता है. That means TP increases at increasing rate, but eventually situation must come when MP starts declining. In the second stage, MP starts declining. That means TP increases at diminishing rate. And finally MP becomes 0. Or negative, which means TP starts declining. Now, what do you mean by increasing at increasing rate or increasing at diminishing rate? See, whenever TP increases, but increases more than the earlier unit, For example, इस बार TP 2 units बढ़ा है, अगली बार 3 बढ़ेगा, फिर 4 बढ़ेगा, यानी TP is increasing, but is increasing at increasing rate. Similarly, TP increased at 4 unit earlier. This time it is increasing by 3. In the next unit is increased by 2. So TP is increasing again, but it is increasing at diminishing rate. मतलब हर बार बढ़ तो रहा है, लेकिन बढ़ रहा है पहले से कम. It is increasing, but increasing at a lower rate, right? Now see, this is a table where we have got land, labor, TP and MP. Land is what? Land is physical. Land is fixed factor. Land is a fixed factor that remains fixed, that remains constant. The fixed factor remains constant throughout. That is 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. And then what comes? Then the labor is there. Labor is a variable factor. Labor is what? Labor is a variable factor which we have got. It keeps on increasing. The labor keeps on increasing. Now look at the TP. Now look at the TP. It is given in the question. TP is also given in the question. ठीक है, हम लोग अभी टेबल जो समझने, this table is just for the explanation of law of variable proportion. We will see how MP behaves. ठीक है, MP कैसे behave करता है, उसकी वजह से TP पे क्या impact आता है, उसकी वजह से TP पे क्या impact आता है, right? So let's check out TP. Let's check out TP, right? So TP is here. TP is here. TP is 2, 5, 9, 12, 14, 15, 15, and 14. And at the last, what we have got? At the last, we have got MP. Do you guys remember the formula of MP? The formula of MP was TPN minus TPN minus 1. The formula of TP was TPN minus TPN minus 1. The formula of TP was TPN minus TPN minus 1, right? So here are the 4 columns. Now see how the MP is derived. How MP is derived. Let us see. The MP is nothing but TPN minus TPN minus 1. So 2 minus 0 is 2. 5 minus 2 is 3. 9 minus 5 is 4. 12 minus 9 is 3, and so on, like this. Now can you see till here? Till here in the initial phase. In the initial phase. Let's see in the initial phase what is happening. Let's see in the initial phase what is happening, right? In the initial phase, when the MP is 2, 3, 4. Till the third unit of labor, MP is increasing in the initial phase. MP is increasing, right? MP is increasing, but increasing at as a result of this, the TP is increasing at increasing rate. As a result of this, TP is increasing at increasing rate in the initial 3 phases. 2, 3, 4 initial 3 units of labor tak. Since MP is increasing, that means TP is increasing at increasing rate. That means TP is increasing at increasing rate. That means TP is increasing at increasing rate. After which, now MP starts declining. Now MP starts declining from the 4th unit of labor. The MP starts declining from the 4th labor unit till the 7th, till the MP gets 0. Till MP gets 0. So what is happening there? What is happening there? Their MP is diminishing, as a result of which TP is increasing, but at a diminishing rate. That means TP is increasing, but har baar pehle se kam. Like see here, from 9 to 12 it increased 3 units, 12 to 14 2 units, 14 to 15 1, 15 15 same, that is 0. And ultimately what happens? MP becomes negative. MP becomes negative ultimately. So when MP becomes negative, what happens is TP starts falling. Can you see this? The TP starts falling. So basically we have got 3 phases. Over here. हमको यहाँ पे 3 phases मिले हैं. What are these 3 phases? These are the 3 stages. Which is the first stage? The first stage is increasing MP. First stage में क्या होता है? MP increases, as a result of which there are increasing returns to a factor. मतलब हर वेरिएबल फैक्टर की एडिशनल यूनिट से हमको जो आउटपुट मिलेगा वो पहले से ज्यादा मिलेगा, In the second stage, what is happening? MP is diminishing. Right? Hey guys, are you there? MP is diminishing. So MP is diminishing. Diminishing MP means diminishing returns to a factor. And finally the final stage arrives. When the final stage arrives, MP starts falling. MP becomes negative. MP gets negative. And what does negative MP implies? Negative MP implies negative returns to a factor. So basically there are 3 stages: increasing returns to a factor, diminishing returns to a factor, and negative returns to a factor, right? So let us see this with the help of a curve. Here it is. Now can you see this? There are basically 3 phases. Over here. In the first phase is still here. That when there is increasing returns, जब increasing returns है, increasing returns के अंदर MP increases. In the phase of increasing returns, MP increases. Then comes the second phase. Which is the second phase? Second phase is this. This is the second stage. What happens in the second stage is that MP diminishes, which means what? Which means that TP increases at diminishing rate. Can you see this? That MP is falling in this stage. Which means that TP is increasing at diminishing rate. मतलब बढ़ तो रहा है लेकिन हर बार पहले से कम बढ़ रहा है. And then comes the final stage. When MP is negative. Can you see this? Here MP is negative, here MP is negative. So when MP gets negative, TP starts ultimately falling. TP starts falling. So these are basically the three phases. Three stages. Now, can you see there is a point of inflection over here? Point of inflection. What do you mean by point of inflection? What do you mean by point of inflection? Point of inflection is nothing. Point of inflection, but nothing. But it is a point where TP changes its speed. Till this point, TP is increasing at increasing rate. But after this point, TP will start increasing at diminishing rate. So at the point where TP changes its speed is known as point of inflection. The point where TP changes its speed is known as point of inflection. So this is how the curve of TP and MP in law of variable proportion looks like. There are basically three stages: first stage, second stage, and third stage. First stage is known as increasing returns, second stage is known as diminishing returns, and the third stage is known as negative returns. So the producer produces goods either of the three stages, either increasing returns. So increasing returns is the initial stage. जब वो production just चालू करता है तो increasing every unit of variable factor increases his production. Then comes the second stage, that with every increase in variable factor, there is rise in output, but lesser than the previous time. And then comes the third stage. When it is negative returns. That means increasing every single additional unit of variable factor will lead to a fall in total product. That means marginal product is negative. So this is law of variable proportion. This is known as what? This is known as law of variable proportion. So this is law of variable proportion. We can see the table and the graph both in one picture. The initial phase is increasing returns, denoted by yellow. Can you see that? Yellow color. Then blue color is second diminishing returns, and the red one is negative returns. When MP becomes negative. Now let's move further and let us see causes of increasing returns. Causes of increasing returns. That why do we get increasing returns? So the first point is fuller utilization of fixed factors. The first point is fuller utilization of fixed factors. Now what do you mean by fuller utilization of fixed factors? Now see, what happens is, let's say there is a field where the farmer is working. ये एक farm है where the farmer is working. Now this field requires, this is a farm. Now this farm requires minimum 10 labor to work to get the full output. Initially only one labor is working. So will that one labor be able to do the whole work? No, the one labor will not be able to do the whole work. So we need more. So as the labor increases, you will be able to use the whole land. More effectively. That would be known as fuller utilization of fixed factor. Because if only one labor is working, the land is not being fully utilized. Your production capacity remains unutilized. So you need to increase variable factors in order to utilize your full production capacity. Now, what is the second point? Second point is division of labor and increase in efficiency. Now see what happens. There is a full land over there. There is a full land piece over there. Now, if only 3 farmers are working, there would be extreme workload on all 3 of them. But what will happen if we increase some labor? If we increase few labor more, if हम लोग अगर थोड़ी सी labor को और बढ़ा दें यहाँ पे, तो the workload will be divided. So their efficiency will increase. Their efficiency will further increase. This, when the efficiency increase, your productivity is more. When your efficiency increase, your productivity is more. So what happens in the initial stage? division of labor leads to increase in efficiency. And the last point is better coordination between the factors. Which factors are being talked about here? The factors which are being talked about here are the fixed factor and variable factor. This length part is the fixed factor. This is fixed. This is fixed, right? So this is fixed part, and the labor is, this labor is what? This labor is variable. Now, if the land requires 10 laborers to work on them, if the land requires 10 laborers to work on them, and if only one is working, so land and labor, land is what here, and this is labor. Land is what? Capital. This is what? Capital, right? Because this is fixed. So if only one labor is working, the ratio between both of them won't be appropriate. That won't be appropriate. So we need to do what? We need to do what? We need to increase the labor part. We need to increase the labor part, so that what? So that the better coordination between the labor and the land can be done. Better coordination between the land and labor can be made, and the labor can work as per their full efficiency, and there is maximum production. So this is in the first stage. This is in the first stage, that with the increase in every variable factor, with the increase in every variable factor, your productivity increases. Your productivity increases, and this is why it is known as increasing returns. This is why it is known as increasing returns. So just now we saw causes of increasing returns. Let us see what are the causes of diminishing returns. The first factor is, first point is fixity of the factor. Fixity of the factor. What does this point mean? Like what happens is that in the initial stage, when we were increasing the labor one by one, what happens at certain point of time is that the labor gets excessive. They are more than the required. There are more labor than the required, right? There are many labor. So what happens? It increases the burden on the fixed factor. So when the burden on the fixed factor gets increased, the productivity automatically goes down. So fixity of the factor means that the fixed factor gets excessively utilized. There is overutilization of the fixed factor, and as a result, the productivity, the output goes down, which leads to diminishing returns. The second point is imperfect factor substitutability. See, what happens is in order to produce more and more, a person might employ more and more variable factors only. But we need to understand that after a certain point of time, when the fixed factor is fully utilized, you need to have additional fixed factor in order to produce more. You just cannot increase the variable factors and increase the production at all point of time. You need to have additional extra fixed factors, then only the productivity can increase. So fixed factors and variable factors are not equal substitute of each other. After a certain point of time, when the fixed factor is fully utilized, you need to have additional fixed factors, just because increasing variable factors all the time is not going to increase the productivity. So this is what imperfect factor substitutability means. That means fixed factor and variable factors are not substitute of each other. मतलब हर बार आप केवल वेरिएबल फैक्टर्स को बढ़ाते रहेंगे और फिक्स फैक्टर को उतना ही रखेंगे, तो दिस इज नॉट गोइंग टू हेल्प यू विद द प्रोडक्शन. फॉर एग्जांपल, इन अ फैक्ट्री, if you one machine can produce 1 lakh units and you are already at the peak of producing 1 lakh units, now in order to produce 1,50,000 units or 1,70,000 units, you need to have additional machinery. Then only you can produce more number of units. You just cannot simply increase the labor in order to save cost. That cannot happen. And the last point is poor coordination between the factors. Right? So what happens is, when you keep on increasing the variable factors with the fixed factors, the coordination between the fixed factor and the variable factor, that keeps on going down, right? So your limit was still here, your limit was still here. Yeah, on one land labor or one land only 10 labor can work at maximum, but you increase it till 15, you increase it till 15. Now since there are excessive labor, there are excessive variable factors employed on a single fixed factor, there are excessive variable factors employed on fixed factor, there the coordination between the fixed factor and variable factor that changes and suffers a lot, so as a result your productivity goes down, so this is the third reason why there is diminishing returns, the first factor was fixity of the factor, second point was imperfect factor substitutability, and the third point is poor coordination between the factors. So these are the points which lead to what? Which lead to diminishing returns. So let us see this. We have got causes of increasing returns, we have got causes of diminishing returns. And when you are studying about any law, there are certain assumptions. Whenever you are studying about any law, there are certain assumptions. So whenever you are studying about law of variable proportion, there are some assumptions which need to be considered. First thing, the ratio between the factors of production can be changed, like one fixed factor, one variable factor, one fixed factor, two variable factors, one fixed factor, three variable factor, like 1:1, 1:2, 1:3, 1:4. This factor proportion can be changed. Second thing, all the variable factors are homogeneous. When we were employing labor on that farm, remember when we were employing that labor on the farm, all the labor need to be homogeneous. That means उन सबकी efficiency बराबर होनी चाहिए. They should be equally efficient. Otherwise what will happen? अगर ज़्यादा efficient labor आ रही है तो ज़्यादा production हो रहा है, कम efficient labor आ रही है तो कम production हो रहा है. So this is not the case to be. We have to assume that all the labor employed, all the variable factors are equally efficient or are homogeneous. And the last point is the technology remains constant. There is no change in technology. Or technology remains constant, right? So these are the three assumptions. Which you need to keep in mind while studying law of variable proportion. Okay, law of variable proportion. So now the last topic of this chapter is the relationship between TP and MP. हमको अब देखने हैं relationship. We are going to find out the relationship between TP, MP and MP and AP. Let us see what the relationship says. Okay, what the relationship says. The relationship between TP and MP is like this. Initially, when MP increases, TP increases at increasing rate, right? When MP is increasing, this curve is MP going down, and this curve, another one, the curve which is going up. The curve which is going up is what? That is the curve going up is total product curve. This curve is TP and MP. On the x-axis, we have got units. On the y-axis, we have got TP and MP. So this curve that is going up is TP. This curve which is going up first and then coming down, that is MP. At this point of time, at this point, it is becoming zero, and then ultimately going negative, So when MP increases, in the first stage, when MP increases, TP increases at increasing rate. Then what happens? When MP increases, MP starts falling. Then MP starts falling. When MP falls, TP increases at diminishing rate. And ultimately MP becomes zero. At this point, MP becomes zero. So TP is maximum. And what happens at the end is MP becomes negative and TP starts falling. When MP becomes negative, TP starts falling. These are exactly the same things which we discussed during the law of variable proportion. This is the same graph which we discussed in the law of variable proportion graph. So the relationship between TP and MP is derived from there. When MP increases, जब MP बढ़ता है तो TP increases at increasing rate, मतलब हर बार पहले से ज़्यादा बढ़ता है. When MP falls, तो TP increases at diminishing rate. When MP is zero, TP is maximum, and when MP is negative, TP starts falling. Then MP falls. When MP is negative, TP starts falling. And the second relationship is between AP and MP. The second relationship is between AP and MP. Let us first see the diagram. So the diagram here is the diagram between AP and MP. The diagram between AP and MP, right? So here it is. So initially what is happening? Initially what is happening is when MP is greater than AP, when MP is greater than AP, when MP is greater than AP, so AP increases. Can you see here? This curve is MP, this curve is MP, and the lower one is AP. तो जब MP AP से ज्यादा है, यहाँ से लेके यहाँ तक, from this point to this point, from this point to this point, from this point to this point, when MP is greater than AP, so AP is increasing, AP is increasing. Can you see this? AP is increasing till the point MP is greater than AP. Then what happens when MP is lesser than AP? अब इस जगह पे, from this point till this point, when MP अब यहाँ पे नीचे आ गया और AP ऊपर है, when MP is lesser than AP, तो AP falls. When MP is lesser than AP, then AP falls. When MP is equal to AP at this point of time, the AP is maximum. When MP equals to AP, then AP is maximum. When MP equals to AP, then AP is maximum. So this is the relationship between TP and MP and AP and MP. There are two relationships, and this is very, very important concept. This is very, very important concept. You guys need to learn this. This might be asked in exam. This might be asked in exam. Let us quickly recall what we have done. We did law of variable proportion with this graph, right? After that, we discussed the causes of increasing returns, which are fuller utilization of fixed factors, division of labor and increase in efficiency, better coordination between the factors, and then diminishing returns ke causes, fixity of the factor, imperfect factor substitutability, and poor coordination between the factors. These are the causes of increasing returns and diminishing returns. Then we discuss the relationship between TP and MP. This is the relationship between what? TP and MP. Can you see this? The TP curve is going like this, the TP curve is going like this, and the MP curve is going like this, and then ultimately falling. So in the initial stage, when MP increases, TP increases at increasing rate. उसके बाद जब MP falls, or TP increases at diminishing rate, and when MP is negative, TP starts falling. In this, the relationship between MP and AP, जब तक MP AP से ज्यादा है, when MP, this is MP curve, this is the yellow line is MP, the yellow line is MP. तो जब तक MP AP से ज्यादा है, तो AP increases, the AP increases. When MP is less than AP, तो AP decreases, and when MP equals to AP, यानी कि इस वाले point पे, तो that point is where AP is maximum. That point is where AP is maximum. With this, we conclude our chapter production function and returns to a factor, and I hope you must have understood each and every component of this chapter. Keep smiling, guys. Be very, very happy, be safe, be healthy, and keep rocking. That's it. Thank you so much.